You want to see end of bull run targets for Multivac MTV, don't you? All right, all right. Well, hey, jump in. But before we get into here, let me tell you what I want to do in this video. I don't want to make an exact specific guess to the exact date and the exact cent. Rather, what I want to do here is establish boundaries of reason, both structurally and based off EMAs, and then give a few parameters in terms of the time frame that the bull run will end. And then within the time frame established, use our loose parameters of reason to identify what Multivac can and cannot do price-wise, and then from there we're going to tweak our guess and come up with an answer. But let me give you a hint. A lot of the higher end guesses that I've seen on my page that I thought were a little ridiculous, they end up not looking so ridiculous on this chart and seem to be within the bound of reason. So let's dive in. What you're staring at is Multivac price on the weekly chart. Right now, what you can see is there is a wick high here. These wick highs at the beginning of any chart, particularly coins that came out in 2019, this is a very common thing going on. They're having a lot of relationship with that wick, and guess what price did here? It went from the bottom to the almost to that wick, and now what's price doing? Consolidating under that wick high, oddly enough. But end of bull run targets, a lot of times if there is an established strong association with a wick high like that, then it often is attracted to the origin line that's associated with that. Does that make sense? So these origin lines often hit. So for example, it's not a coincidence that this wick high and this wick high are touching essentially the same origin line. So let's take a look at that. Let's make this bolder. See, they're touching the same origin line. So let's zoom in so you can see better. These origin lines simply, they bind similarities with price later on. Even though it's not a horizontal, it's essentially like a trading range that's tilted on its axis, almost like the earth. So if we could tilt it up as if the earth is spinning this way on that, then you take these horizontals and you tilt them a little bit, and then price likes to get attracted within those same trading ranges. Am I making sense here? And I've made some videos on origin lines and how they work. So that's what you're staring at. Now, the white lines, so apart from this one stating the obvious and the relationship that it's having right now with the wick, anticipating a potential future relationship on the origin line of that wick, okay? Maybe best case scenario, and really end of bull run for any asset to meet that on the origin line, that's going to be a pretty aggressive target. So I think that would be our bound of reason if Multivac could hit that top line at the end of the bull run with the parabolic move. I think that would be the bound of with reasonableness. Now, could it go higher than that? Sure, but the percentage chances that happens, even if it's changing the world and all this, it's going to be very low. So these white lines that you're staring at are the time axis. So we have to establish by when will this happen. So end of bull run, let's say it's end of the year. Okay, so that is January 1st. Another guess would be May. So these are three guesses of when the bull run will end. So this is May and this is September, and I'll put January here. So that's what we're looking at. So let's just look at these top end. Actually, let's look at like middle term guesses here. So since there was a lot of trading activity around this area, I would say that price might top out somewhere where all of this activity here was. Right here, let me do that origin line a little bit better, about like that. So let me make that origin line a little bit thicker so we can see our bound of reason from the origin line standpoint. All right, and so now we essentially have these boxes here. So the bounds of upper reason right now, could price come a little bit lower than these? Sure, but these are going to be my target boxes depending on when the bull run ends for Multivac. So essentially, for example, if Multivac, so since this white line represents January, if Multivac and the bull market ends in January, or January 1st, and there was a parabolic move that brought it to it exactly at that point, that would be my low end guess, for example. And if the bull run went much longer than what most people think, and it hit the top end, that would be, so from the bottom guess to the top guess, and each of these is somewhere in between. And am I making sense? All right. And Multivac might hit, some line between, like one of these or this one right here, depending on when the bull run ends. All right, before we keep going, I need you to flip your phone or get flipped off. What does that mean, Tim? It means literally flip your phone vertically, because right now it's horizontal. You have the screen maximized. Now that it's vertical, hit like, because it's going to help me continue making videos for you. And hey, guess what? What's going to help me out even more? If you leave me a comment, even if it's a period with no tampons, or you simply yell your favorite food, pizza with mushrooms and anchovies, is if you were Michelangelo and Donatello and the Ninja Turtles. But hey, leave me a quick comment. And if you like some other coin, but you want to see how I do this for Multivac, just scream your favorite coin, Veracity, Trias, whatever you got. And if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that bell. Here's why you should hit the bell. This stuff is time sensitive, usually, not this particular video. Most of my videos are time sensitive. So if I'm going to help you walk through a more profitable crypto journey, you have to hit that bell for me. We are in this together. Smash that bell and let's jump back in. All right. So this is a structural analysis, right? And next, what we're going to do, so you got to stay tuned for this. We're going to do the structural analysis first, and then we're going to make sure that the structure makes sense on a percentage basis as well. So we gotta check our basis a couple of different ways, right? Okay, so let's just say this lower end box. Could Multivac, let's say, take a move from, not even from the wick low, from here to here? Can Multivac even have a chance, based on how it's moved before, even have a chance to hit that lower end box by the end of the year? You take this like that and kablam. It can actually, before the end of the year, feasibly hit that top box. Yes. Was it a smaller cap here? Yeah. This is actually where I was buying it right there. It was 1.8 million cap about right here, because I took it to 36x. I bought here and I sold at 1.12 cents. It was actually my best trade of the year so far. It was by far the best. And so, but I did sell all my Multivac, so I do not own this asset anymore as of now. Now, will I get back in? Perhaps, but I'm going to have to do it soon if I choose to do so. Anyway, so yeah, so it feasibly could, even though it's a larger market cap, it will take much more money to move it that high, but it has moved that fast before. So therefore, structurally, and the way this asset moves as if it were an animal, a zebra runs differently than a lion, so on and so forth. So the way that this runs like an animal, it is possible it fits within that reason as well. So let's take this area here. If the bull run ends in January and it hits this bottom line, that would give you about 25 cents. And if the top line is hit and the bull run ends in January, that gives you about 90 cents. So, and is that a big range? Absolutely. But that's what we got. It doesn't look like a lot on the chart there, does it? All right. So let's put, all right. And I really, really do not anticipate the bull run ending end of year. I think that's extremely unlikely. Okay. So now let's take this out to May. Let's say the bull run ends in early, or actually this is mid-May, May 16th, roughly. So this cross section right here would be 45 cents. This cross section right here would be $1.50. So let's go ahead and mark these. What did I say about 42? Yeah, let's just put 43 cents. All right. And again, remember, I have more lines. There are more origin lines between. It doesn't have to hit one of these. I just think these zones. So trading volume within here will happen in some point in the near future, right? So it could top out right here and hit, and it doesn't have to be exactly at this line, right? So it could come out and the bull run ends right around April and it hit 81 cents. So this would be 81 cents, for example. So you can have numbers between here also. It is not limited to these exact cross sections of the bold lines, right? With the white vertical lines. All right. So if the bull run goes longer than what most people are believing it will, or thinking it will, you shouldn't believe this stuff. You should, think in probabilities, right? Like it has this amount of chance to do this, so on and so forth. You shouldn't believe stuff. I believe it's going to end in April. Like, no, you don't. Why would you believe something you don't even know? It's like, why would you do that? Stop saying that word. Use it correctly. All right. Or don't use it at all. But anyway, so 70 cents is this area here, and $2.32. So I think $2.32 is the upper end of the boundary of reason here, but we don't even know if this makes sense structurally, or if the way this behaves as an animal, right? It cannot really get that high. So we're gonna test this right now. Did I say about 70 cents? Something like that. It looks to be about 70 cents. Yeah, let's just keep it at 70 cents. All right, so those are our marks right there. Now, what I've done here, you see these pink things right here? So these are called fractals. All I did was I took a snippet of price from here to here. So you see how those look the same? Because they literally are the same. Like it is that. So what I'll do here is I'll show you, I'll go like this and maybe take it down to like the second red one and bring it up here so you can see that it's exactly the same. I haven't stretched it out or anything. See that? All right. So you can also see that the snippet that I took, this is not aggressive price action. So imagine price just doing this 3 times in a row, right? The double section 3 times in a row. It's honestly not that aggressive, right? So that could easily happen. It's not like I'm taking this 3 times, right? Like this insane run. I'm not doing that. And honestly, I think that was like a 45% run. It was not even from the bottom, from here. I mean, it was pretty, it was a 41x run. So every dollar became $41. I only caught 36x of that, but that's still pretty damn good. I mean, it was by far the best trade I've had in the year. Maybe actually ever. So, all right, it's not going to let me bring these back down. So what I'm going to have to do here is drag it from here, take it to the second red candle, drag it there. That's once. That's twice. And holy freaking cow. Do you think it's a coincidence it hits that line almost exactly? No, because these lines, I don't know why these origin lines work. They just do work. So within the bounds of the way this moves as an animal, right? Okay. So I'm taking a non-aggressive section of price history because this was a much smaller cap here. I mean, the market cap was probably about 1 million there, right? So it was tiny, but it did not move that aggressively there. So larger caps can, do several stepping stones, and this is non-aggressive. And you can see here how tightly knit. So see this red EMA here, that line under there? See that? So now you see it, now you don't, now you see it. Okay, that would actually allow price to hit the weekly 10 EMA over and over and over and over. And that is allowed in crypto, right? So that's stepping stone action. So if it just does this 3 times, behaves in this fashion and no more aggressively 3 times, that's $2. Now, do I think $2 will happen? I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that is my guess. Rather, I think that is in the bounds of reason. Now, what we have to do here is, does this shit even make sense from a percentage basis? Are we talking 1 million percent? Like, how stupid is this getting from the bottom? And is that level of insaneness, because it's going to be high numbers, right? But does that happen in crypto, particular to coins that start off with a smaller cap? Okay. And let me give you a hint. The answer is yes. All right. But let's take a look here. Okay. But you have to learn how to check things, make sure they all make sure it makes sense in 2 to 3 different ways. And that each of those ways kind of agree. Okay. This is in the bound of reason, right? So let's take it from where I bought it. Up to $1.50. That is 200. That is 250,000%. That's pretty high. All right. So that's 250x roughly. Okay. 250,000% is, so every dollar becomes $250, right? Okay. Now that is a lot. That's a high percentage rate, but 250x happens all the freaking time, and it's actually not just particular. It's only for coins that start off small. For example, Cardano cannot ever do that. It would be bigger than the Chinese and American economy combined if it were to do that type of percentage basis. And right now, Cardano is actually, it's larger than Ford Motor Company, literally from market cap, right? With 0 revenue. So it's actually not possible for that to do it. But smaller stuff, kind of a sore topic for a lot of people, Viacoin, right? It was a smaller cap, and lo and behold, crazy, huh? Wick high, and what did it come up and hit? the origin line from the wick high. Isn't that crazy? No, it's not. It's just how this crap moves. These coins move, especially monetary coins like Filecoin, they move like a clock. But the point of this is, okay, is this absolutely insane? So I'm not even taking it from the wick low. I'm going to take this from here and measure up with this measuring tool here. And that's almost a quarter right there. So almost so 250,000% almost, right? Without measuring from the wick low. 250, and this was just a competitor with Bitcoin. This wasn't going to change crypto forever, right? This was just a Bitcoin competitor, and it did 250,000%, 250x. And it started off roughly at the same market cap, okay? And it hit its wick high in its association with it, right? So, I mean, this is just, okay, so let's go back to Multivac. And this stuff really, really happens, folks. I'm telling you, like, crypto is an insane place. So let's take a look at MTV and let's make sure that the upper end isn't too crazy. So I might take it from, let's take it from this point. I don't want to take a wick low because it's already recovered a few times. So from here to the 232, that's also about 250,000%. Because I'm essentially cutting off this as like way undervalued. So I'm going to do from more fair value. And does that percentage make sense? It's still very hot, right? However, what this crypto is doing is, in many people's opinions, much more significant than what Bitcoin competitors were going to do. The project's ambitions were are much greater than what Viacoins is in the scope of the world and within crypto, right? So now what we have here is the way that Multivac moves. Is it reasonable? Yes. The origin lines, does it make sense? Yes. Within the time frame that we're working with, does it make sense? Yes. Within percentage basis, does this make sense? Yes. With the weekly 10 EMA, could those targets make sense? Yes, even down to EMAs. So let me dive into the chart and pick a line here for you. I'm going to guess that the bull run ends in September. Okay. And I bet this might wick out. I'm just going to pick between these lines and make my guess at $1.20. Actually, let's do $1.193. That is my guess if I had to make a guess. And you can see it's just kind of a random guess, but it's within my box of reason. And just know that that is assuming that there is a parabolic move at the end for essentially all cryptos. That might not happen. So the way that this bull run ends, it might not be a one for all the coins screaming up. Is that likely what's going to happen? Yes. But it's possible that some coins, they have their scream up 3/4 of the way into the bull run, kind of like I think Dogecoin and SHIB have done. I don't think they're going to see, that type of parabolic move at the end, like most of the other coins that haven't done what those two coins have done, right? So this is making several assumptions to establish parameters of reason, and those base assumptions could end up being incorrect. However, it's the best assumptions that I can make right now that there will be a parabolic move near the end, because that's how human psychology works. A lot of people come in at the end. They don't know what they're doing. If you're watching this video like in February, March, and you're new to crypto and you're seeing MTV and you're watching this video, you're a future tilling to this video and price is close to where we're going. I mean, these are probably these are high end price targets. So if you're planning on buying this when it's already close to there, just a heads up, that means it's probably close to the end. And you might want to wait for the bear market and wait about 1.5 years, because that's where the real money is made. If you're a future Tillian watching this in 2022, sometime, March and beyond. So just be very careful if you're landing on this and things are getting hot. That means you're probably the third wave of retail, and you are the person to whom I want to sell this if I had it, right? We are dumping our bags on you. And why do you think most YouTubers talk about coins when they're already flying up? Because they're selling what they already have to you, so you buy it, right? That's what most YouTubers are doing who aren't technical analysts. They cover news and stuff. Just look at the chart of any coin they talk about. It's already way up. Just take the measuring tool and measure what percentage of a run it's had since whatever bottom it just formed. It's often way over 1,000%. That's when they cover it because they're selling it to you to create one last pop so they get their viewers to do it. So don't get trapped into this, future Tillians. If you're watching this in, fairly deep, spring or, summer 2022, you're going to be better off, but most likely, things could change, but most likely waiting for a bear market because that's where the real money's made. All right, so that's what I got for you. Hey, everybody, real quick, make sure you hit that freaking like button, flip your phone vertically or get flipped off, and subscribe, hit that bell, because hitting the bell will allow me, for most of my videos, give you time-sensitive information to make your crypto journey that much more profitable. We are in this together, and y'all just got typified.